So we find Obi-Wan at the beginning of our story rather broken and faithless and beaten, somewhat given up. Well, he's different because of what's happened at the end of episode 3 with the Jedi, with Order 66 and the Jedi Order being slaughtered, and everyone who survived going into hiding after dealing with his personal failure with Anakin, that he feels that the responsibility that he allowed Anakin to be tempted over to the dark side, and that he wasn't able to stop that, and that his teaching wasn't strong enough to be able to protect Anakin from that. I think weighs obviously very heavily on him. Yeah, it was very special. It was very odd. It's odd to come back to something after such a long period of time. We made the last film in 2003, and I guess it was early last year. I went down to do some casting, and they wanted to do screen tests with some young actors. We were on the Mandalorian set, I think. It was a weekend, and they were not shooting, so we'd used a bit of their set, and it was their, I think, mainly the Mandalorian crew. But I walked out, I went into my dressing room, and there was some random Jedi stuff, not stuff that I'd worn in the other films, but just based on, or some Jedi type clothing. And I put it on, and it just felt it felt great. It felt important, and it felt special, and I was happy. But it wasn't really till I walked out onto the stage, and someone said, "Okay, ready," and I've got my line. Obviously I've got my role, but the young actors I'm reading with maybe don't have their role. So I've got my page. I'm just making sure I know my lines, because I don't want to screw up my lines for their screen test, their camera test. And I was walking out, and I sort of looked up, and I was aware suddenly of the crew, who are the Mandalorian crew, but looking at me coming in Obi-Wan's costume, and I could feel like that sort of excitement running through. It was exciting. It was cool to see Hayden back in the role of Anakin. Well, it was sort of spine-tingling. It was amazing. But it was just amazing to see Hayden, full stop. I mean, I'm so close with him. We've stayed in touch over the years, but we haven't seen each other for a long time. And as it got closer and closer to the shoot, and once Hayden was on board, he was in LA, and we met. It was during the lockdown, and we met in Santa Monica in a park, and we both walked along with our masks on outdoors, and we had this long catch up. It was so lovely. Like it just been years since we actually saw each other, not for any reason other than just, just locations. And I was here and he was in Canada. But I love him so much, and we have a very special bond of making 2 of those first 3 films together. And it was an important. It was so important for both of us, for our careers and for who we are. And so we had just so much to catch up on, life stuff, and where we're at, and it was so lovely to see him again. And then to be on set with him again was just odd. It was like time hadn't happened or something. I looked across at him, and there's we're on a set, and I look over at him. He's Anakin now. I'm Obi-Wan now, and it's like nothing had happened. Like I didn't see any age on his face. I just felt like, we just, like the period of time between episode 3 and now just didn't exist or something. It was so peculiar.
If you enjoyed this episode, and frankly, even if you didn't, don't forget to subscribe.
Do it.
And if you want to help spread the word, please give this video a thumbs up and tell your friends to subscribe. Please check out the official Star Wars Coffee merchandise, and don't forget to check out all of the content playlists on this channel, including The Rise of Skywalker, The Mandalorian, and much more.